Our topic for today is DeFi. DeFi, what is DeFi? Some will say the opposite of CeFi. True, but that doesn't really make it clear enough. So let me break it down for you. This is Titch for Block Smarts. Right, let's start backwards. Let's start by defining CeFi. What is CeFi? CeFi is just short for centralized finance. Now, what is centralized finance? This is nothing more than the traditional financial industry as we know it. Banks, lending, us borrowing, insurance, trading stocks and derivatives, that kind of thing that we know that happens in our financial world today, right? All run on policies driven by government regulation, human staff in different departments who we trust to carry out the services they offer as promised, consistently, honestly, and with integrity, right? DeFi, which is short for decentralized finance, is a new alternative financial system. Now, it's not alternative in that it offers different everything. It actually comprises of all those financial services and products in CeFi. However, there is no middleman. The middlemen being staff, government influence policies in these institutions, making decisions on your request for their services. So this absence is what makes DeFi decentralized. It's open and permissionless. But how is that possible? Like, how can I get a loan without a bank and a responsible member of staff available to approve or decline it? 3 things: cryptography, blockchain, and smart contracts. Okay, let's break each one down. And let's start with smart contracts. So smart contracts, they're the backbone of DeFi, and Ethereum's number one reason for being so valuable, because most, if not all, big DeFi projects are built on Ethereum using its programming language called Solidity. So smart contracts are just basically computer code that is written to, enable the automatic execution of an agreement, based on having met the set criteria for that agreement. It's all written in code, right? I hope that's clear. The next thing is blockchain, right? What is blockchain? To simplify it, it's just a digital ledger, right? It keeps and tracks the records of a network's activities, right? And they stay there. If you have to even check, like the first transaction ever carried out on the Bitcoin blockchain is there. That's what a blockchain does. It's like open accounting, and it's available for the public to see if they have to go and verify anything, to check anything. Okay, so say if you send $100 worth of Bitcoin to a friend, that transactional information is going to be entered into a block in the form of like a unique string of characters that act like a fingerprint of that transaction, and that unique string of characters is called a hash ID, right? So any other transactions that follow that one in that block are entered into a new block, but in that new block, they will also enter something unique from the previous block to link it to that block, because they're creating like a chronological order. Now, those links that they're creating are what we refer to as chains. And then if you think about it, when thousands of transactions are being created, you're going to have a chronological connection of these blocks. That is where the term blockchain comes from. So it's just a chain of records connected to each other, and each one linking to the previous one. Okay? So yeah, I hope that makes sense too. Lastly, it's cryptography. Now, cryptography, this is just a safe way to communicate over public networks, like email, using encryption and decryption. So information is encrypted till it reaches its intended destination, where it's decrypted. This is so that if intercepted by anyone, it's not meant for, they can't read it. So, it's just basically for safety. So those are the 3 things that enable DeFi to function without middlemen, right? It's all computer code and everything, and it makes it powerful. Now, what are the building blocks of DeFi? Like, what are the elements that are present in DeFi? So, one of the first things is stable coins. What is a stable coin? A stable coin is a coin that is pegged to the US dollar. We have, coins like USDT, Tether, DAI, USDC. Those are stable coins. They peg the dollar. They're so important in DeFi because, like, if you think about it, it's the volatility of crypto, right? If Bitcoin probably reached a certain price and you wanted to take profits, you want to take them out and transfer them somewhere immediately. You don't want to want to take profits at 60K, and it's probably going to take 3 days to process if we have to send it straight to a bank. You want to be able to hit 60K, take profits immediately. You know, a lot of these banks aren't connected to these crypto sites the way that, you know, stable coins are present there. So if something like that had to happen, geez, you'd put an order to take profits at 60K. By the time everything is processed, it's probably down to 30K, you know. So they're so important, and, you know, enables you to move in between other coins, to, you know, so easier. Right. So that's stable coins. The next block for DeFi is lending and borrowing. Immediately, the first two big players that come into mind are Aave and Compound. So here you can lend and borrow. Now, lending, some might think is the same as staking. It's not really staking, because staking, you're actually participating in a network's, you know, verification process and stuff like that. When you lend on Aave and Compound, you're actually putting your cryptocurrency up to be borrowed by someone so that you will get paid back with interest. Okay? So that's what you're actually doing. You're participating, and you can also borrow on these sites. So you can borrow money to go and buy other cryptocurrency or whatever. I'll probably go into depth on how this works and why people do it in a different video. I don't want to make this too long. You know, I like to make short videos because I don't want to overwhelm you with information being a beginner. So we've got lending and borrowing, Aave and Compound. And then the other one is decentralized exchanges. I've spoken about this one before, Uniswap. So Uniswap is a decentralized exchange, which is just an automated exchange where you can buy your coins. It's unregulated. There's no KYC, which is short for Know Your Customer. There's thousands of coins there. You are literally solely responsible for everything that happens. They just provide the platform and the coins available. You buy those coins, they immediately go to your personal wallet. So you actually, before you even start using these decentralized exchanges, you have to have a personal wallet that you set up, so that once you buy your coins, they immediately go into the wallet. These exchanges don't hold your coins. Okay, so that's decentralized exchanges. And then insurance. This is Nexus Mutual comes to mind. This is the one that I kind of am familiar with in DeFi. And how insurance works in DeFi? It just basically insures you against loss, you know, from, I don't know, smart contract bugs and hacks. So in case you lose your money to a smart contract bug or a hack or anything like that, they can reimburse you and stuff like that. Okay. And lastly is margin trading. So margin trading, this is when you trade with more money than you actually have. So you might borrow money to trade, to buy a stock. Kind of, you know, I look at it like it's leverage trading basically. So you'll probably, if you have 100 and then you put like a 5x leverage, now you're trading with 500. You know, it's great. You can make great profits, but it's not for newbies. It's not for beginners. You have to be very careful. It's very, very risky. A lot of people lose money through margin trading, but that's one of the building blocks of DeFi. So that's 5 building blocks for you. And that kind of like summarizes what DeFi is, decentralized finance. So next time when someone is asking you what DeFi is, you have something to, you know, you have an answer. You can tell them everything that we've spoken about. I suggest you just listen to this video more than once so that you can understand it. We will get into depth on, like, you know, each element and probably break down the advantages and disadvantages and how it works. But for now, that is DeFi. And if you have any questions, guys, just post them in the comments box and I shall get back to you. Peace, everybody. This is Tish for Block Smarts.